UFC Vegas 55, Holm versus Vieira. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and share the video as well. We'll look through each of the matchups. We'll preview the fights now after seeing the fighters on the scales. Let's jump into fight number one. Elise Reed versus Sam Hughes. Earlier in the week, I was going the Sam Hughes side. We will check them out on the scales. I like Sam Hughes' pressure. She comes in very good shape. Both fighters on weight, ready to go. There is Elise Reed, her opponent. I'm confident with Sam Hughes. She can maybe mix in some takedowns. Definitely has really good pressure. Elise Reed is solid with the kickboxing. Good side kick, solid straight right. I feel like Sam Hughes will be able to weather the strikes. I feel like Reed doesn't have the power to keep Hughes off of her. So I think Hughes is going to be constantly trying to work inside. I do believe she can mix in some takedowns here. If she can get some control of Elise Reed on the ground, that'll be really good on the scorecards. I really feel like we're going long. So I'm saying fight, definitely going distance. So I like Sam Hughes to win a decision. As far as the lines, Sam Hughes is plus 136, Elise Reed at minus 145, and I also like the over 2.5 minus 300. If you want a dog attack Sam Hughes, she is that plus money. It is a competitive fight certainly, but I think Sam gets her hand raised. Hughes to win via decision at the plus 240 mark. So a little better plus money. I feel like we're probably seeing this fight go distance. Money line is good. Sam Hughes by decision is an okay prop, but over 2.5 is extremely confident. That's a very confident over, and that's one that I like here. I know it's wide, so maybe a parlay piece. Definitely feeling the Sam Hughes side, though, to get her hand raised in a competitive fight. Chase Hooper versus Felipe Colares. I have been on the Felipe Colares side all week long. I don't think a lot can change from the scales. Colares coming in incredible shape there. There's Chase Hooper, his opponent. He's got a little bit of the height edge, the reach edge, but striking, we know the issue with Chase Hooper. He's really not good on the feet. I'm picking Colares to win. I think he has a serious advantage in the stand-up. Colares isn't this A1 boxer, but he can definitely outbox Chase Hooper in this fight. On the floor, I think Colares can match him in the grappling, though Hooper is long and tricky to deal with. He doesn't have the wrestling game to get it to the floor. If he can somehow pull guard on Colares, even then, though, I think Colares will be okay in the guard. I feel like he'll be able to fend off Hooper's attacks. Main thing is just not giving up his back somewhere, especially against the cage and getting caught in a weird scramble. I think Colares should be en route to winning. Chase Hooper has shown durability, so I'll pick Colares to win by decision. As far as the line, Hooper plus 165, Colares minus 167. I'm on that Colares side. Over 2.5 at minus 165, I really don't like here. I think it's a dangerous fight where there could be a finish, so I really don't like to touch that line. Colares to win by decision, plus 160. I don't love either. There is Hooper to win via submission. That's plus 500. If you're looking for the Hail Mary of it, it's not a terrible way to play it. Hooper's real only method to winning here is probably locking up a sub. I'm going to pick Felipe Colares for the win, getting the hand raised by decision. He's minus 170 over Chase Hooper, who's an awkward fighter, but that sometimes lead to tricky matchups. Colares should win it, but you can't fully sleep on Chase Hooper, who's also super young and going to be constantly improving. Next one is Jonathan Martinez and Vince Morales. I'm excited to see these two throw down. I'm going to be picking the Jonathan Martinez side. I've been on him all week long as we pull up the scales as well. There is Vince Morales, lean, shredded, ready to rock. He's going to bring the fight. There's Jonathan Martinez, and there's an intense face-off there. I like Martinez's technical striking. I feel like he definitely can defend takedown attempts as well from Vince Morales, which Morales may try to do, mix things up a bit, because I think technical striking favors Martinez by a fair amount. Morales is athletic. He hits hard. He's got good overhands. As I said, he brings a wrestling base that he doesn't use a ton here. I just think Martinez is so much more versatile standing up. He wins this bout on the feet. He defends takedowns well. He throws solid front kicks up the center. I think his low kicks definitely might be a plan here. Chris Gutierrez was the man who I guess, destroyed the legs of Vince Morales. Martinez trains alongside of him. He might be in the corner too. So I like Jonathan Martinez to attack those kicks. I think you're going to see him winning the bout here. Now, I will say Jonathan Martinez also fights out of the southpaw stance, so that same calf kick may not be available, but he can go inside of the calf. Morales might switch stances. You might see Martinez switch a bit as well. I think Jonathan Martinez outstriking him over the course of the 3 because Vince Morales is a durable fighter. Plus 215 for Vince Morales. Jonathan Martinez minus 225. I got to go with the side of Jonathan Martinez to win, but the line is wide and it's not my favorite bet. Minus 235 over 2.5 rounds. Both guys have finishing ability, so I don't really love that over. Martinez to win a decision, plus 105. I'm not loving the betting side in this one. If Morales catches him with something, let's just look at Morales by KO, plus 580. That's a wide line. Don't think it's super likely, but he did just knock Luis Smoka out in the last one. Martinez sometimes gets caught over the top. It could happen here with Vince Morales, but I'm still riding the Martinez way to win the fight. I think he gets his hand raised by a decision over Vince. Next one, Omar Morales versus Uros Medic. I really feel like this is going to be a fun fight. And it's one where Omar Morales might shine a bit. Earlier in the week, Omar Morales has been the pick. But I've mentioned Uros Medic is not an easy underdog. Medic's shredded and ready to rock. He's got the shades on. Morales in incredible shape as well. Those guys looking eye to eye essentially here. I feel like the Omar Morales side is getting his hand raised. I think he will mix in some wrestling, and in that department, I think he's superior to Uros Medic. Standing up and striking, Medic's chaotic. He comes out strong, fast, attacking early. Omar Morales, a little more calculated with his stand-up at a slower pace, but he's durable. Went the distance with Giga Chikadze. I don't think Medic has the same finishing ability like a Giga. It's going to be hard to put Morales away. Medic might have to try to rip some body kicks. I know he does fight out of the southpaw stance, so that's going to be an interesting note to see how Morales deals with that, especially a fast-starting southpaw. But I feel like Morales will weather the storm. I think he's going to mix in takedowns. I think Medic is kind of an all-or-nothing type of guy. He's going to go for it, and I think due to that reason, Morales can get a finish here. I'm liking Morales to get his first UFC finish, KO TKO, round number 2, Omar Morales in this fight. Let's look at the lines. Morales is minus 136, so close money favorite. Uros Medic plus 127. Morales is the higher level experience. He's been in the game for a while, and he doesn't look like he's slowing down. I feel like fight doesn't go the distance. Minus 188 best value, minus 200 range isn't atrocious. Minus 162 for under 2.5. Morales has been winning a lot of decisions, though, but the way Medic fights, it should be a fight that ends inside of the distance. Morales win KO TKO plus 240. I like the Morales side. Money line. I think he's going to beat Uros Medic, but Medic's dangerous. I guess I have to, due to the danger, bring up Medic to win inside distance. What's the line? Plus 210, so it's not even great for Medic inside distance. Medic KO TKO plus 275. Don't like it. It's not even worth a Hail Mary swing there. I think Omar Morales getting his hand raised in this one. KO TKO against a dangerous Uros Medic in a fun fight. Looking forward to this matchup a lot. Next fight of the night. Things are starting to heat up here. Parker Porter versus Jailton Almeida. Everybody's been on Jailton Almeida, including myself, over Parker Porter. We'll check them out on the scales. There is Parker Porter with the big beard, the big biceps. He's a big human being. Jailton Almeida, shredded, lean, ready to go. He looks intense. He's long. He's tall. I mean, he looks to be a head above. How tall is Jailton listed at? 6'3"? From this picture, I'd assume he's 6'6". Maybe Parker Porter's only 5'10". But Jailton looks humongous he looks extremely tall. He doesn't look humongous. Parker Porter looks humongous as far as the width. But big man, Jailton Almeida. As far as the weights, Almeida did come in really light, 224 pounds. The speed and technical skill set edge favors Almeida by a really wide margin that I don't think the weight should be a huge difference maker, but you're trying to take down a guy 40 pounds heavier than you. Well, 40 pounds at the weigh-ins. How much is Parker Porter going to weigh when they close the cage? 270? 275? 281? He cuts weight. Parker Porter's a huge human being, so if by some weird chance there's an upset here, it would be the big man Parker Porter somehow finding a way, because he's not going to be easy for Almeida. Now, that being said, I think Almeida can beat him in the striking. Parker Porter doesn't pose a significant threat with his hands. Wrestling, Parker Porter offensively is okay. Defensively, decent. I think Almeida can get him to the floor. I think Jailton for the win. Minus 500, though, so it's a really ugly line. Parker Porter's a big dog, plus 480. Like, if you want to just lightly touch it, you're looking to Hail Mary something, that would maybe be the one to go to. Over a round and a half is plus money, plus 140. Jailton Almeida, I think, wins the fight in the first 2 rounds. Fight starts round 2, minus 110. That's a scary bet, because Jailton can get a finish at any time. Jailton inside of the distance, minus 245. I think he does win inside of the distance. Jailton to win via submission is plus 120. Jailton to win KO TKO, plus 300 best value, plus 215 also, depending where you're at. I think Jailton gets his hand raised inside of the distance, but it's an ugly line. Pick between sub and KO TKO. You look at Porter's most recent loss. He got knocked out by Chris Dawkins. Bad knockout loss there. Keith Bell got a finish of him. He submitted against Gonzaga. It's crazy. Also lost to John Jones. I'm going to lean the KO TKO side for Almeida, but I definitely think submission's possible. If you want to attack that prop line, it's there. Jailton should dominate this fight. It shouldn't be competitive. We'll find out when the cage door closes. It's still a fight. Featured prelim. Joseph Holmes versus Alen Amedovski. Earlier on in the week, I've been riding with the underdog Amedovski here. An extreme confident dog, but a live one. There's Amedovski. There is Joseph Holmes, and there's the face-off. Joseph Holmes doesn't look that much taller than Amedovski, which really jumps my confidence up, because I think Holmes, technically speaking, is not as good as Amedovski, but he's really long and tall. He's got an 80-inch reach. He's 6'4". Amedovski only 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. I feel like Amedovski's going to have to find a way inside. I think he can land good punches in close. He's got solid hands, and he hits hard. He has knockouts outside of the UFC. Went distance with Njokuani, and then he gets knocked out by John Phillips in one shot. But it is what it is with those quick knockouts. I think Amedovski's looking to come back with a vengeance. Joseph Holmes, I wasn't super impressed with after fighting against Pickett in the last one. I believe that was the matchup. It was Jamie Pickett, right? Yeah, it was. He lost a unanimous decision. I feel like he's a lesser version of that. I think Alen Amedovski's live to win. I'm going to call him to get the KO TKO or the decision here. Don't really love the prop side, but I think that Amedovski gets his hand raised. Looking at the line, Amedovski plus 185, Holmes minus 195. I think we're going over a round and a half, minus 135. Even if you think Amedovski's terrible, I think he's good enough to go longer here. I don't see him getting starched quickly. He's training alongside Strickland, Chris Curtis, Hamzat Chimaev. He's been with some good guys in camp. I don't like the prop side, but the over 1.5 I do like at minus 135. And I like Alen Amedovski plus 185. Underdog to beat Joseph Holmes, the raw talent in the featured prelim. Main card. Make sure you guys have smashed the like if you haven't, smashed the hell out of it. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. It's Eryk Anders versus Jong Park. I have been on Jong Park. I know some people are on Anders as a dog, especially that he bet himself $1,000. Hopefully he actually went through with it. We'll find out. Let's check them out in the scales. Jong Park looks okay. Eryk Anders looks pretty damn good. Definitely had a weight cut. And he's the bigger human being. He looks like almost like Park is staring him right in the chest, looking at the physique. Anders is not an easy fight, and he's got the mullet too. He looks intense. This is an intense and motivated Eryk Anders. He's 35. Needs a win. Jong Park, I think, is the technically better striker, though. He definitely moves better. It's a small cage. Eryk Anders is a physically stronger guy of the two. He's explosive. He's a good athlete. I feel like Jong Park's boxing could be a difference maker. I think he's going to have a hard time taking Eryk Anders down. How will he fight in the clinch with Anders? That's going to be a big tell-all. I'm going to pick Jong Park, but Eryk Anders isn't a bad underdog. He's plus money, so you're looking at plus 177. Park minus 190. Eryk Anders throwing down on himself. I feel like we're going the distance here. Anders is not easy to finish. He lost to Andre Muniz in the last one by sub, but it's Muniz. He's a submission specialist, ace, master. Young Park got stopped by Gregory Rodriguez, who hits damn hard, and Park was having moments in that fight. Over 2.5 is minus 200. I like the over 2.5 a lot. If you played Eryk Anders, it's not a terrible dog bet because he definitely could be live here. I'm going to pick Park to win by decision, though. But I like the over 2.5 a lot at minus 200. Park to win by decision plus 125. Wow, Anders by decision plus 350. I think Anders is being disrespected by the lines, though. They shouldn't be this wide. This is a close fight. This is like more near Pick'em's line. They're going real wide on Park. But Eryk is a live underdog. I'm going to go Park. But Eryk Anders is dangerous here. I have a weird feeling for some reason. I'm telling you guys this right now off instinct. I am feeling as I'm talking about this fight after I saw him in the scales. I think we're getting a good Eryk Anders. Maybe you want to attack a dog. He might be the one. Park, though, the official pick. Next fight of the night. Polyana Viana versus Tabatha Ricci. I like the Ricci side. I've been on her all week. Let's see how they looked on the scales. Ricci holding something in her hand. Polyana Viana. Dude, Tabatha Ricci's the one. She looks good. She looks great. She's a great fighter. She's dangerous. I think Tabatha Ricci has the edge in the grappling department. She does have a Muay Thai background. Note that. So, striking, Viana's boxing is probably superior. And she's longer. She's 5'5". Ricci's only 5'1". 62-inch reach to 67. It's a big difference in the reach. If Viana's moving, slipping, boxing all night long, it could be a long night for Ricci. But Viana tends to close distance and tends to get taken down a lot. She's submitting these girls that don't have the jiu-jitsu capabilities near Ricci. Ricci will defend the submission attempts. I think Ricci will control from the top. I think she'll land overhand striking because that Viana chin is high. I know she has good boxing, but the chin still comes up too high. Ricci has good overhands, and I do think the throws and the clinch are a big factor. I like Tabatha Ricci getting her hand raised in this one. I see a decision for her. It's close. Minus 120. Viana plus 112. Give me Ricci. Over 2.5 rounds, minus 155. I like a lot. Ricci by decision, plus 195. I do think she gets her hand raised by a decision. I think fight goes the distance here at minus 135. Viana's got some finishes, but she hasn't finished the Tabatha Ricci. And you know, if there was going to be a finish by submission here, I would lean it towards Ricci submitting Viana as opposed to the contrary. Now I have to look up Ricci to win by submission real quick. I have to find out. Ricci to win by submission. Find it upwards of plus 500, plus 450 range. It's not impossible. Viana's been submitted. She was tapped out 2 fights ago, 2 losses ago. 1 loss ago. No, excuse me. Veronica Macedo caught her in that armbar. That was a long time ago. She's definitely gotten better since then. And it is what it is with women's MMA armbars. They happen sometimes. Ricci could lock something up. It's not impossible. I want to pick her to win a decision, though, and beat Polyana Viana in this matchup. Let's keep on running. Chidi Njokuani versus Duško Todorović. Fun fight here that I am looking forward to, and I like the Chidi side. I've been on them all week. The weigh-ins ain't going to change nothing for me here, but we got to check it out. There's Duško. There is Chidi. And there is bit of a size difference. A lot taller, Chidi Njokuani. He's such a better technical striker. Duško is still developing. He's a bit raw. He's hittable down the line. I see Chidi Njokuani working his hands here, landing good straight punches and touching up Duško. If it goes to the ground, I think Njokuani's got the better jiu-jitsu of the two. Obviously, Njokuani's game is not based upon being on his back, so if Duško can continuously land takedowns, I'm not thinking Njokuani by triangle, but I think he gets back up to his feet. If Njokuani's on top, he's dangerous here. I see him beating Duško Todorović. I'm going to go KO TKO in the second. Could also happen in the first. Njokuani minus 230 for the odds. And then Duško Todorović plus 235. Do we go over a round and a half? Minus 152. Duško can take a good shot, but he has been finished before. I don't know about loving that over 1.5. Under 2.5, minus 150, or fight ends inside of the distance, minus 195. Njokuani by KO, TKO, we have to look at plus 115. I like the Njokuani side money line. He is minus 250, I know. He's a fairly sized favorite, but I think he should get his hand raised over Duško in this matchup. Fun one, and I'm really looking forward to seeing these two throw down. This is one of the people's main events, one of the two, because the next one, the co-main event, is a hell of a fight. It's Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Michel Pereira. Santiago was close towards the top, obviously was having health issues, injuries. His career got stalled in the peak of his prime. But he's back, and he didn't look bad against Jeff Neal in the last one. Now, all week, I've been picking Pereira to win. We'll check them out on the scales and see if anything changes here. There is Pereira looking lean, ready to rock. There is Ponzinibbio. He looks in good shape as well. Smiling face off. These two ready to go to war with one another. I think we're going to see an excellent fight between these two. Ponzinibbio with good pressure boxing. Pereira, very versatile and dynamic kickboxing. I mean, he does crazy attacks. He can move extremely well, gets in and out of range quickly. Santiago Ponzinibbio, to me, I think is going to be outmatched in the speed department. I think Pereira's going to outstrike him. I don't see Ponzinibbio taking Pereira down and controlling him for 3 rounds. He's going to be forced into a fight on the feet, and I think Pereira shines there. I feel like he's going to get his hand raised and win a decision. I actually think we're going long, which is crazy when you have 2 dangerous strikers like this, because there's a possibility of a finish for sure. But I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a drawn-out fight. Pereira tends to win fights by decision. Ponzinibbio tends to be pretty durable. Besides, that Leech fight, he did get caught with a big shot and went out. I think Pereira win decision. He's a younger guy, 28 to 35. I think he's on the way up. Ponzinibbio could be plateauing, maybe on the way down. I'm not going to say he's on the way down, though. I don't want to say that. But Pereira should get his hand raised in this fight against the game veteran Santiago Ponzinibbio. Plus 125 for Ponzi, minus 132 from Michel Pereira. Over 2.5 is minus 175. I would rather go Pereira money line, but this is a fight I'm probably just going to sit back and enjoy. Pereira by decision, plus 185. I do think he wins by decision. Let's just see what the knockout prop looks like on both sides. Pereira by KO is plus 410. Ponzinibbio by KO is plus 450. So both really wide lines. And I guess why not? Ponzi by decision, plus 260. I like Pereira to win a decision. That is the official pick here. I think he beats Ponzinibbio. It's a damn entertaining fight. I'm excited as hell to see what happens when the cage door closes here. People's main event. Now let's get to the actual main event. If you guys haven't, make sure to smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and also share the video, show some love. Holm versus Ketlen Vieira. Ladies matchup here in the bantamweight division that puts the winner close to that title picture, especially Holm, who's riding a 2-fight win streak, and especially if Juliana Pena is able to beat Amanda Nunes for a second time. Now, all week I've been picking Holm. We're going to check out the fighters on the scales. There is Ketlen Vieira with the tattoo, with the intensity. Look at that face. There is Holm looking lean, ready to rock, 40. Intense face-off. I think Holm is the technically superior fighter of the two. I think she's going to outpoint Vieira standing. I don't think Vieira has a good shot to close distance and land multi-shot boxing combos. Do I see her really landing kicks on Holm and picking her apart? No. I think Holm's going to be moving a lot, cutting angles. I think she's going to be touching up Vieira. I might even say Holm mixes in a takedown or two. I don't see Vieira with a significant threat in the wrestling department. Her real method to victory for me would be she catches Holm maybe with an overhand somewhere in the clinch, maybe a knee or an elbow. But I think Holm overall just has a vastly more wide skill set, especially standing up. I mean, her kickboxing, top of the line, former boxing world champion, former UFC champion. Holm's stand-up is top class. Watch for those front kicks, too, that will get Vieira to be pushed off of her a bit. She's fast. Even at 40, I can't pick against her until I've seen otherwise, especially Vieira having a fight with Miesha Tate, who definitely standing up is nowhere near the level of Holm. And I think if Miesha Tate fought Holm today, I think Holm dominates her. Holm win decision. As far as the lines in this one, minus 207, Ketlen Vieira plus 215. I like Holm. I think over 4.5 is going to happen, minus 233. I'd understand the fear of betting it because that's a lot of rounds of cage fighting. Holm to win by decision is minus 110. It's the official pick. I like Holm, and I think she's going to come through, guys. I think she has this one. Over 2.5, minus 390 if it's available to play where you're at. I like it. Fun fight. Holm, Ketlen Vieira, the main event of a card that I think is going to be delivered. I'll be live for the whole thing. So come to the channel, enjoy the fight companion, because we'll be enjoying the hell out of the fights. And we got a shoey too that we'll do at, let's say, 100 likes. Let's keep it earlier in the night so maybe we can hit 2 of them. I am going to jump to the parlay section, and let's talk about some potential plays here with the parlays. All right, let's say Holm, Chidi, and Njokuani, those are your staple 2, plus 104. You want to add more to the mix. I like over 2.5 for this Anders fight a ton, plus 208. I think that's a great 3-fight parlay. Probably the one to bank on and ride towards if you're looking to play one. You want to go nuts. You could add Jailton, but it only brings you to plus 259. It's not going to give you a ton of points here. Let's see. The over 1.5 is scary here, but I think it does hit. Plus 430 if you add an Amedovski, Joseph Holmes over a round and a half. They have that line close because Amedovski was finished quick in the last one. But prior to that, went distance with Krzysztof Jotko. If you don't like that, though, I understand. Take it out. Jonathan Martinez, another quality pick, plus 331 for this fight to be under. Maybe you got the under 2.5 available, plus 375. You can see the staple pieces I'm kind of liking right now is going to be Holm and Njokuani and that over for the Anders Park fight because I really feel like we're going long. I also like the Elise Reed and Sam Hughes over 2.5, plus 296, nearly plus 300 if you added that into the mix. If you added in close money, Tabatha Ricci, which is a risk, plus 626, but I do think she gets her hand raised. The over I don't like as much here as the week's gone on because there is a possibility, a scramble where there's a submission, but I still think there's a viable chance. Plus 522. We're going nuts with the parlays here. Guys, be cautious with your parlays. Enjoy the hell out of this card. Bet responsibly. Come to the fight companion and chill with your boy for the entire thing because I'll be live for it and I can't wait. Make sure you guys smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Turn those post notifications on. Share the video as well. If you really enjoy the content, drop some comments in the chat. Let me know what you think of the picks, or if you got nothing to say, but you just enjoy, drop a W in the chat for your boy to pump that algorithm. Much love, my people, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace, everybody.